Okay, we should be live, I think. Right. Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about Tropical Storm Beryl and where this thing is going and what's happening to this thing right now. So if you look on the big picture, I'm going to bring you the big picture, and you can see that this thing is slowly but surely intensifying, but it is in a world of shear. So, you know, it's going to be hard for it to do, but she's still intensifying. She has dropped 2 millibars, so she is intensifying. We are seeing some convective bursts, and also a convective burst near the eye. So that's something to consider. But if you look right here, it's kind of hard. But if you look right there, here, I'll show you guys on the infrared. Gotta look really hard. You want to pay attention to the grayish, whitish cloud cover. Like over here, you want to pay attention. You want to really look. You can see that it's spinning, it's turning. So National Hurricane Center, once again, as of 17 minutes ago. As of 17 minutes ago, put Beryl right here, the eye. We can also look at this by looking at this app called My Radar. And the low pressure is about right there. I think it might be just a bit more northerly. I mean, it does show it being right here where my crosshair is, but I think the actual pressure point might be a bit northerly. According to the wind speeds, it does show it be like somewhere over here, which would verify a little bit. I think it is like turning north, though. You can see it was over here. I think it was like turning north. You can kind of see on the outer edge. So it's somewhere, I like to say, over here. But once again, the last time you recorded it, which was right here, can't tap on it, but it was at 1001 millibars. Right now it is at 999 millibars, and it's moving at 12 miles per hour. So something's gonna be moving slow. What should I show you next? Okay, we're gonna talk about the track line. And yeah. So the track line shows us at 60 miles an hour. And it's going to stall again by 2 p.m. Looks like it's going to... Oh, wait, that was the forecast time. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Okay. It looks like in a few hours or so, it will trail north. It looks like this is once again going to be one of those things where she will more than likely be on the northern side of the cone. So, the next update, this cone will probably be shifted something like that. It'll probably be shifted something like this. And such. Kind of like that. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting, once again, wherever the hurricane watches are. Also, there is an update with the cone. This is this, as of right now, this is no longer forecasted to Mexico, right? So this cone, let me turn off the satellite really quick. I'll just look at turning off the satellite really quick. This cone is no longer in Mexico. So this cone says, the track line, we could potentially have landfall literally right on the border. So it could happen here. It really could happen here. It could happen here, but it's really unlikely. So, no more Mexico. Mexico is no longer an option. Louisiana, and Louisiana, and this part of Texas is also no longer a landfall option. Well, that's as of right now. I do expect this to change maybe a little bit. At least till this part. I expect it to change. Maybe this much I expect it to change. Do expect this to go a bit more easternly. And once again, storm surge watches and hurricane watches are in effect. If you were to ask me personally, I'd say anywhere between Corpus Christi and Galveston is where we will see landfall. As of right now, we're predicting landfall really once again anywhere in between. But we are really, as of right now, our most certainty is centralized in a track line. This is where our certainty is recognized in the track line. But once again, I do personally expect this track line to move maybe a bit or even more northerly till there. It's not going to be a lot. But if this has happened, the hurricane is going to be a hurricane at the time. Will be in a bit more watery areas. It's going to be a bit more water. That's still a thing that can. It depends on how big the eye is. It depends on how big the eye is. If the eye is big enough to fit, like in here, then that can still promote. Okay, this is going to intensify till landfall. So any little river, not river, but any little semi-big area can help this thing intensify. Because I do expect this track line to not move far, but maybe somewhere like this. Yeah, something like that. There's a little bit of a distance, to be honest, but this is what I'm expecting for it to move to. I'm expecting this to be in a little bit more water, Landfall, I'm going to go overboard with landfall. I'm expecting a Category 2 hurricane for landfall. A low-end Category 2. A low-end Cat 2 I am expecting for landfall. Yes, it might be a high-end Category 1. But I have that gut feeling that the track line moving to the right, it's not 100%, but I think it's certain that it's at least gonna move somewhere to the right. It's certain that it's probably gonna move at least to the right, to the east a little bit. Maybe not that far, but you know. The track line isn't overkill. I think saying the Category 2 might be a bit overkill, but the more it moves to the east, the more water it will go over. The more water it's going to get over, the more better it has a chance to be a Category 2. And the more it turns, the more slow it's going to be. More slow it's going to be over water, then, make the calculations. The more time it's over water, the end, I'm not expecting a high-end Category 2. I'm not expecting a high-end Cat 2. I'm just going to make sure I can hear myself on live, because that would be bad if I'm not. Okay, there's 3 people here. It would be bad if I'm not. I'm just going to say hello. I want to see what happens. I have notifications on. I just want to see. Will it show up? Please? I should say test. So it didn't show up. That sucks. It said I had stream notifications on. I had stream notifications on, so I don't know what this is all about, but maybe it's just severely delayed. Based, the more it moves east, the more chances of it intensifying. So let's say there's a scenario where we do see this move, let's say like along the track line, and makes landfall near Houston. There'd probably be maybe a high-end Cat 2. But as of now, once again, I do expect this line to move a bit more easterly. And once again, going a bit overkill, I do expect a Category 2 landfall. A low-end Cat 2. A low-end Category 2. Once it does say it's not going to be intensifying much. It is at 60 miles per hour now. It says it's going to be at 60 miles per hour. Then it says it's going to be at 65. Well, it would be bad if this increased to 65, because then we would probably see maybe, because if it increased, if this increases 65, then this would probably be 75. And this would probably be this would be 70, and this would be a Category 1. This would also probably be a Category 1, and then we would probably definitely have a Category 2. So that'd be horrible. That'd be worst case scenario. But I don't think that's gonna happen, because I think there at least in this area, there is too much wind shear that is going on. And once the wind shear is somewhere, it's definitely a bit more over here, but wind shear is going up, It did drop 2 millibars if you have not heard that. Also, going further, let's say this track line verifies, then it will be a high in Category 1. Would probably be a Cat 1, maybe until here. Maybe. No, it's being high end, so it'd probably be a Cat 1 till maybe 10. No, that's a bit too far. It's hard to forecast hurricanes. So it's over here. It's probably got to decrease somewhere below 10 or at 10. I don't know if it's the interstate or highway. Yeah, interstate 10. But the National Hurricane Center is showing this being a hurricane all the way up until here. Then right here's going to be a tropical storm. But everything below this is expected to be a Category 1 hurricane. So that's not good. I mean, I'm a believer that this is going to be strong, and I know it's going to be a strong hurricane. Well, not a strong hurricane, but I know it's going to be a high-end Cat 1. I'm a firm believer if this plays out. Once again, I do think it's going to be a low in Category 2. Because how this hurricane has been this year is, you never know. Then it's supposed to be a tropical depression, which this may cause, once again, flooding problems for Texas if it settles, but if it does get picked up by the trough, it'd probably go more northeasternly. Also, since it will be a hurricane, this tornado threat will persist. As of right now, we can predict at least a tornado risk. So at least from right here. So here's a cool thing if they don't know. So wherever the initial point. So here, let's say the hurricane's right here, no matter what category it is in a tropical storm, from the center point on, you go out a little bit. This quadrant, sorry, no, that's a lie. So this quadrant of the hurricane, this can fluctuate. It can be like this. It depends on the intensity a little bit. But normally it's something like this. And here's the eye. This is usually the area where we have these outer bands make landfall, and that would probably have a tornado risk. As of right now for the tornado risk, if the track line does verify, then this is where the eye is going to be going. Then we'll probably have a tornado risk somewhere like, somewhere like this. It's probably where we have a tornado risk. Maybe, yeah, something like that. But if this is a fast-moving hurricane, which it shows it's going to be, then the tornado risk could literally be for a few days. And this is not going to be all at one time. It's going to be gradually for a few days. So this would more than likely be, the first day, second day, third day, maybe a fourth day, to gradually move. If I were to predict the tornado risk using the current track line, I'd probably say there'd probably be like a 2% risk existing over here. Well, depends. Existing something like that. That there would probably be a 5% risk somewhere once again. when these outer bands kind of meet the land. But I do think, and this is going off this quadrant, but if we go off when it when it makes landfall, a tornado risk I think will be a bit more elevated, to be honest. Probably. Oh, that's too far. I'm kind of bad at this. Probably something like that. It looks like a photograph. It'd probably be something like that. And then we may possibly have something, maybe we'd have like a 5% risk. Potentially a 5% risk. I don't know, somewhere. Maybe it's kind of hard to forecast it. Probably up here, you may have like a 5% risk. At least at some point, I actually do expect maybe a 10% upgrade. Because just of how energy wise, it's still probably gonna be energy flowing into the land. So there's this trough. This trough is already bringing more than likely a lot of energy. So, and picking up a lot of energy. So, like my preliminary conservative forecast for areas that could see potentially a tornado, I'm gonna, this is throughout the days. So this would be, I guess this would be the first day. And then this would be, looking at the track, it kind of curves. This would more than likely be the second day. Also, it's bigger because it would probably go throughout the night. And then this would be the third day. So that's my preliminary forecast. So really, if you live along, this part of the line of the eye, you're probably gonna get the impacts a bit more. So YouTube has lied to me, by the way, everybody. The great people at YouTube have, for some reason, lied to me and told me. Yeah, I don't know. This for some reason people at YouTube lied. So that's fun. But anyways, I'm open to answer questions. Oh wait, yeah. Before I do that, what was I gonna do? Wind shear. This kind of looks confusing, but I'm just gonna quickly take a screenshot so I can draw. So, right here is beryl. Here's the coast of the United States. Here's Florida, Louisiana, and Texas. Here is the, Mexico. Here's Mexico. Here's the Yucatan Peninsula. Here is South America. And so whenever you see yellow, see this yellow, that means it's neutral. So imagine green, like 5, +5. And then neutral, 0. Then red, we have -5. So whenever a storm enters green, it has that chance of improving. It will improve. It's in a favorable position to improve. When it's in a 0, when it's in a 0 neutral, it's more than likely not. It's not gonna improve, but it's also not going to decrease. When it's in a non-favorable area, it's more than likely going to decrease, or at least try to weaken the storm. Wait, is that correct? Actually, no, never mind. I lied. I lied. So this does mean increasing. Neutral means that it could decrease and it could increase. This means it cannot increase. Maybe a little bit. So that's wind shear. So right now, this storm is currently in a neutral zone. And the track is currently something like this. So it does look like it will enter a non-favorable area. It will enter that -5% area. Then it looks like there might be a window where it would enter a neutral area, but then a green area, a +5%. So that's why we're probably going to see that. So that's why we see that hurricane outlook. That's why we see that. What else? I can show you. Let's look at some models. So here's the first model I want to show, which is the windy model. Windy. There's like two things about windy. One, it's accurate. It's fairly accurate, but the thing is, it changes its models a lot. So it's accurate, but also you can't really rely on it. The last second, it's accurate, but in the future, it's really not that accurate. So let's actually look. So let's look at 11 p.m. Eastern today. It's more than likely going to increase. Sunday at like 6 a.m. We really see this start to pipe up around 4 p.m. It's still going. It's curving a little bit more, so it's slowing down. Around 9 p.m. we see that slow. Around Monday 12 a.m. we're seeing potentially winds pick up on the immediate coastline for Texas. Around 3-4 a.m. this same thing, but it moves a bit more north, and we actually could potentially see a bit more windy environment over here near Indianola, Port Lavaca. This little sliver of Texas. Around 7 a.m. we are really getting near that zone. It's getting windy and nice. Yeah, we could, right now at least, potentially start seeing storm surge impacts once again for the immediate coastline. So we're miles away from any type of land, and we could already potentially see that these winds are picking up 46, 43 miles per hour. We could see a little bit of storm surge start. Maybe not even storm surge. Maybe we'll see some waves, but that storm surge threat will exist. It will start existing. Really for these areas over here, like Pringle Lake, these bay areas, and really for these bay areas, but everywhere else, like more inland, we will start to see winds increasing really near Indianola and areas. We'll start to see these winds start to increase a bit. This is once again a model run. This is not a prediction, but this has been really accurate for this hurricane at least. By 9 a.m., we will definitely see storm surge start. 100%. We'll start to see it mainly for Indianola. The immediate, these also winds. Winds will be picking up once again near Paleosis, Port Lavaca, and maybe Stedrift, Laward, and maybe Indianola and areas north could potentially see storm surge impacts. This immediate line right here, in this little area, will definitely see storm surge impacts by now. That's a given using this model. By 12 p.m. we have landfall. Can we get anywhere before land? So it does look like landfall will be, once again, if you follow my crosshair, something like that. So around landfall time. So once it enters land, it looks like we will see the worst of the storm surge happen. Storm surge can really be in areas, I'm looking at potentially Galveston, Texas, and areas south like Jamaica Beach, Freeport, Lake Jackson, Lamarck. You can really see it pick up by Bay City. Once again, this little, it follow my crosshair, this little sliver, I don't know what to call it. That actually might be underwater. If this increases to like a category 2, low and category 3 intensity, we could see that underwater, no lie. We will also see some back end storm surge happen for this coastline near Paleosis and over here. By 3 p.m. later in the day, we could still see storm surge impacts maybe once again for this little area. Not really. We're not that. This. We may just see some waves, to be honest. But Galveston, right here, looks like it's gonna really get some storm surge. Jamaica Beach, Lamarck, Port Bolivar, maybe even Seabrook, LaPorte, Baytown, Seney, Paleosis, Bay City. It's all going to get it. Storm surge, I think, by 7 p.m. will finally start to wind down. But areas like Galveston and maybe a bit southwest Jamaica Beach, we could literally maybe see some waves still. So this might be an all-day event. Eventually, by 1 a.m. Tuesday, this thing is going to stall out to a tropical storm. I still think it's going to be a tropical storm by then because we're still seeing this kind of pink area. We are still seeing some pull to this storm. We are still seeing some... So we could potentially see some waves near the Galveston area. Some waves. I'm not expecting storm surge to last by then. Over here, it still can be a tropical storm, maybe a very low-end tropical storm. By 2 p.m., though, it's definitely going to be a tropical depression. The areas I see getting impacted most might be Mexia, Texas, Thornton, Buffalo, Texas. That's immediate. Also, I do want to go back a little bit because I completely forgot about Louisiana. Because I definitely think Louisiana is going to see something storm surge-wise. Oh, well. Louisiana will I don't think Louisiana will storm surge, but if you live anywhere near Cameron, Louisiana, or everything, Cameron, Louisiana, and everything west to the Mexico border on the immediate coastline, Not expecting any storm surge, but I would still say weather aware potentially. Once again, this is just a model run. I don't know if anybody's texting. Anybody's messaging. I'm still not getting the alerts if anybody's saying anything. All right. Also, I do want to look because I did see at least some broad spin near in the I did see some broad spin in the Caribbean, the lower Caribbean. Some very broad spin. Yeah, right here. There is some, well, that's not even spin at this point. So there is some, at least by Sunday, there is some broad spin in the lower Caribbean that might pull some winds into it. It's going to broaden out and die out, so I don't think there's going to be any outlook for it because it's going to die out very fast. There may be like there's like a 5% chance I'll do anything. 5 or lower. So really, normally we were looking here originally. At least I was looking here originally. But I'm not seeing anything right now that catches my eye. Right now, really over here catches my eye for potentially maybe a few things that could potentially spin up a little bit. Nothing tropical I'm seeing. Not even close to anything tropical. Yeah. As far as this model goes out, we're not seeing anything tropical going on. Which is until next Monday. I'm going to check out this area just in case. Because there is a little bit of spin. Right. That's not even right now. Yeah, right now there is there is a little bit of spin right now. But it's about to get engulfed by Saharan desert dust. This could impact Cape Verde. This may bring, if there is any rain by it, it could bring maybe a day of training, since it will be rotating. Then it's gonna really broaden out. See, right here is where we would see some sort of initiators. Like right here, see? Right here, here's a little bit of a spin. And it's just going to broaden out. We're probably going to see this a lot. See, here's another area spin. We're probably just going to see this area a lot. We're probably going to see some spinnies. May have some, like 15-mile-an-hour wind gusts for it, sustained maybe. Little spinnies with maybe 50-mile-an-hour winds, with it, potentially, at their strongest, really. But then again, these type of things actually made beryl a thing. Well, I cannot speak. These types of little spinny things is actually what made beryl a thing. Or beryl a thing. So, but once again, there's going to be so much of these little spinnies that at least maybe 2 or 1 out of 5 of them will actually produce something. The zonal flow kind of goes a bit more west. And it really just turns to mush. And it really weakens. Once again, by Sunday, we'll have one of these little spinnies with maybe 18-mile-an-hour winds. And look, it shows it's spinning more. Huh. Yeah, one of these things by next Monday, it's going to be one of these things that will spin, and it might spin a little bit more than what these things usually are. But then it's just gonna collapse. It's gonna be like a few hour thing where it's like, oh my god, TikTokers, these fake TikTok meteorologists will probably go, oh, that's a category 2 right there. It's not. It's just gonna be one of these spinnies. Oh, it's gonna be the next big storm. It's not. It had a little bit of energy. It had a little bit of kick. That's all that was. Right now in the that's not even the Pacific. Right in the Atlantic, we have 2 little areas. There's one area that is rotating that could be bringing 27 miles per hour aloft. But this is going north. The more north this goes, the more it catches up with this jet stream. Looks like it will be a little bit of a spinny for a few days, and it's just going to die out once again. This stuff happens in the Atlantic. Pacific right now, I think we do have like Aledia, or whatever. Where was she? Is she like right here? Where is she? I don't even know where she is. I mean, there's spinnies everywhere in here, but I think she's like right here, to be honest. Wait. Okay, she's right here. She's spinning a little bit. She's gonna die off. And the Pacific looks clean. We will have potentially low pressure with some wind gusts by Monday. Kind of going near like the area of Mexico. If the low pressure is strong enough, it might turn into something maybe like a tropical storm or depression. That's by like late next Monday. Late Tuesday. Next Tuesday. Not this coming up Tuesday, the next following Tuesday. So absolutely in the futurecast, nothing is cooking up in the tropics. Nothing in the Pacific, nothing in the Atlantic, nothing in the Caribbean, nothing in the Gulf of Mexico. Nothing is cooking up in the forecast. This little spinnies that are just going to be failures in life. They don't matter. probably just had an update. Yeah, I think this is the new update. We're still at 60 mile an hour. I don't wait. Is this the new update? No, this is not the new update. We should be getting. No, I think at 11. I think at like 11 a.m. We get a new one. Okay, I know what else I could show you. Before I show you other models, I do want to show you my forecast outlook. This is my forecast outlook. You know. So what this is you see all these little lines. These are different model runs, kind of like spaghettis, the spaghetti chart. But it's like it says it on the top. Atlantic Storm Barrel early track. So this is like a extended version of these spaghetti charts. This was made around like 4 or 5 a.m. So clarification. So here's the name of all the models. Here's the name. The colors of them do not mean intensity. The colors just, once again, indicate different models. Now, see these little intensities, like low pressure 1, tropical storm? I put that there. So I took this graph, and I looked at all the models, and I took them, I put them in my brain, and my brain outputted this. It outputted a potential track. So this is about right now. Really about right now. I think it's a little bit more north. Once again, throughout the track, I do expect this to be a tropical storm. At the time, right now, I think it's gonna be a Category 2. But at the time, I do expect this to be a Category 1. At the time, a few hours ago. Before I continue, there is once again these models that do show them being outliers and going, towards Texas, towards, towards Tennessee, so like that, towards like the middle of Missouri, yeah. And once again, some models are now showing a bit more separation now. I mean, they're showing unison in Texas. Texas, as of right now, is, I'm going to go, unless something dramatic happens, unless Zeus, unless Mother Nature and Zeus, like, cooks up something and this makes this thing go towards Louisiana, which is not, then this is, it's a good guarantee. It's not even a guarantee at this point. It's going to go towards Texas. I think that's a given. It's going to go towards Texas. Whether it's a hurricane or not, it's going to go towards Texas. This is not me fear-mongering. I think every meteorologist, even like a meteorologist who has, like, even those TikTok meteorologists who are like Category 8, they're dumb, but even they know this is going towards Texas. That's probably the only reliable thing that they can say. But a little bit north, it'll become a tropical storm. I do expect this to be a tropical depression for a little bit. Then after that, I do expect this to be a post-tropical cyclone, which is basically a spinning low pressure. This could have gusts up to 15 to 5 miles per hour. We will continue to see this weekend as it goes into Ohio, Indiana. Once again, 5 mile an hour wind gusts, potentially 10 mile an hour wind gusts. So, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, maybe you can see some, if this fast moves, by the way, if this catches up with the jet stream, we may see some stormy weather, we may see some rain, we may see some winds, at least 15, 10, 5 miles per hour. That's the thinking. Canada, none of these are going towards Canada, except for this model. This model, once again, has been an outlier since here. I know I saw a TikToker that said with this specific model where it's going to be like over the lake, where it's going to intensify again since it's over the lake. That only happened once. There was actually a time, you can look back, where I think it was like a tropical storm force. Early, I think it was Hurricane Huron. It had 74-mile-an-hour winds sustained. It actually had an eye from over Lake Huron. So that was only one time ever in probably history. That was like a Fortnite event. It was like a rare event. That's never gonna happen again. Like it might. Climate change, if you believe in it, of course. I mean, I'm not well. Climate change or whatever you believe in, it may happen again. I don't know. That was like a very rare event, like never to happen like a million years, like in a person's life. 0% chance in a person, like a 0.1% chance in a person's lifespan for a hurricane to form again in the Great Lakes. So yeah, it's probably going to be a spinning low pressure system over the lake. It could be, but is it going to form anything? Realistically, we may see a few more gusts of wind get into it. That's really all. It's going to be a fair open. If I can talk, it's going to be a fair body of water for me over. And yeah, it might be warm. But it's not going to be warm enough. But it might be just warm where it can maybe get some 2 to 3 more wind gusts to it. It's not going to form into a tropical depression. It's definitely still going to be a tropical cyclone. Well, no. It's still going to be a rotating low pressure system, I believe. 1 second. I need to get a water break before my voice just dies. Okay. That is that really. Okay, wait, actually, never mind. There is a model. I do need to show you one more model, and maybe a few more models. But now that we saw the wind field, let's talk about the severe weather Let's talk about the rain. Let's talk about the reflect. Let's talk about what the radar could look like, right? That's what we should be talking about. On the right hand of your screen, this is in Eastern Standard Time. Once again, once it gets near Texas, we could see some outer bands hit Texas. Really, that severe weather threat is going to be for Texas. This, at the beginning, wow, I cannot talk. At the beginning, it looks a bit more multicellular. That's probably going to be where our greatest tornado threat exists, to be honest with you. After that, the tornado threat will still persist, of course. I mean, without a doubt. It looks like we will probably have an eye by then. A very oblong eye. It does show landfall, actually, to be honest with you. It does show when it gets more inland, it has a better eye. It does show this eye more symmetrical when it's inland. That's crazy. And see, it shows the eye better when it's inland. Also, once again, like I said, that corridor or flooding heavy wind right here. Once again, this rain band, this will be that severe weather risk. By then, this is more than likely going to be a tropical storm. By here, it's more likely going to be a tropical depression. And yeah, it looks like it's going to stall out a bit. We may have some stormy problems in throughout its lifespan, mainly in Indiana, and that's all we at least for the HWRF, which is the most, I think it is the most accurate for hurricane predicting, at least tropical predicting. Of course, we can look at more, like the HAFSA. I don't know what this is. Is this beryl? Yeah, this is beryl. This shows beryl at least having an eye. This shows beryl as like a hurricane forming, at least being a hurricane, at least till landfall. It doesn't even show it having any outer bands. I mean, it does later on. So once again, this model is showing a bit more a severe weather threat for Louisiana. And it's kind of showing also maybe like later on a severe weather threat for Kentucky and Ohio. Then it's just going to die out in Ohio. You know, it's just, yeah. These are the models. Let's check the HMON model, which this is, oh wait, never mind, I'm looking at the wrong storm, my bad. Beryl. We have a well-defined eye, but it is showing this could make landfall in southern Texas. Maybe the Corpus Christi area. And then it looks like it's immediately going to be a tropical storm after that. These models are still showing some sort of severe weather threat for Texas and Louisiana. And then a tropical depression and all that fun stuff. So that's the models. But definitely flooding can be a major, if this slows down, 1 second, if this slows down, like especially over here, the flooding threat can be huge. The flooding threat can be really huge, potentially all the way, like really like over here. The flooding threat can be huge. These models have been showing DFW and areas out to get these rain bands and maybe some winds, definitely that flooding risk. Let's see beryl on this. Let's see beryl. Let's see if we can spot the beryl, everybody. I don't really need infrared imagery. Back to here. Whoa, that's way too fast. 1 second. Yeah, this getting a bit bigger. It's kind of hard to tell where the eye is again. I think somewhere over here. But once again, luckily we have, thankfully, my radar. It shows really about accurate winds. Like really near and dear accurate wind speeds. What is this? Surface winds. Okay. So it's about somewhere over here. I think this is a bit more. I think this is the place by the south a little bit. I think it's a bit more northerly. Yeah. Looks like shear is getting into this thing. Right here, it does look like shear might be trying to get into this thing. And it looks like bite marks. And this was really good. It's building. It is building, by the way. But like over here, look. That the shear. It's literally a bite mark, by the way. It's a bite mark. But this thing is really trying. Right now, this really actually could be 65-mile-an-hour winds. Well, wait. What am I talking about? Let's look at windy. I think windy. Right now, windy is showing 40-mile-an-hour. Wait, let me see something. Where is it? I found it yesterday. Where is it? Pressure. No, I don't want... Oh. Yeah. Showing 1,000 millibars. It says 99 millibar. It could have went up 1 millibar. But low pressure once again is right here. Let's look at satellite. I don't like this. I like... So low pressure was last recorded over here. I think it might have gone northerly. And I think it's over here. The tracking system on windy sucks. And we're now seeing some thunderstorms over here. Yeah, looks like we're back at 1001. Unless this was a low pressure track. Well, yeah, shear is definitely getting into this thing. That's good news. Looks like it's weakening again. It's really good news. I wish this hurricane just stayed out in the Gulf, like just did not hit Texas. That'd be the best. Because I love hurricanes, but I love them when they're not like predicted and like not at the moment like hitting like land and affecting it. But seeing like a Cat 5 like not doing anything to like land or anybody, that's cool. Well, that's something I like. But I'm also glad that it's pretty to hit Texas, so I'm glad that there is like signatures of weakness still on this thing. Okay, you can see a little bit of that shear is really dipping in. It's trying to cut this thing. It was updated 8 minutes ago. So did it like find? So I think it found low pressure there 8 minutes ago. And this is 8 minutes ago. Then RadarOmega's radar is a bit more accurate. It was updated 9 minutes ago. Okay. So we're thinking it's right over here, low pressure. But yeah, that makes sense. It looks like it's actually right here, to be honest. Like literally right where it's about. I don't think we can, because the winds on my radar are kind of clear as day that it might be a little bit broken. But it's showing low pressure on that side. Why on that side? So low pressure is we're kind of finding trouble. Okay, updated 6 minutes ago, so it did update. We still found low pressure right there. I don't know if this is right. I mean, firstly, it's displaced, so that's that's one thing. So, we have the lowest we can find is 1,000. I'm not seeing 999, but well, actually, let's see something. Here's the play. Here's what I should have thought of this before. 8 minutes ago, Hurricane Hunters. So, but now it's 998, 999, 998, 998, 998, 998, 998, 998. Okay. Okay, it just threw the eye. 997, there's a drop in pressure. 997. So we found 997 millibars. So it dropped 999. It dropped by 2 again. So it is dropping. 28. 28. 14. Okay. Probably the biggest it's going to drop. So we're going to go over here. And we're going to go to a site called and what did we find? What did it find? 28 knots. Wait, let's see if there's any higher number. Let's see if there's a higher number. 22 knots. 32 knots. 24 knots. I would say this was 32 knots, but 29 knots. 30 knots. 28. Let's say 35 knots, 34 knots. Let's say it's around. We're gonna say 35 knots. That's 40 miles per hour. So we're expecting this to move at sustained winds. So we're expecting sustained wind at 60. But I don't. Okay, 40 knots. Wait. Okay, 41 knots. Hold on. Okay, hold on. We're getting somewhere, guys. This thing's getting somewhere. 41. Now we're 38. No, stop it. Okay, so we're at 47 miles per hour. So we're getting somewhere. It's cooking. It's cooking. So where was low pressure, by the way? Low pressure. Low pressure. Where even is low pressure? 988. So low pressure as of right now is somewhere. So here's low pressure. Low pressure is somewhere right here. So low pressure right now is on the track line. Okay, we got a few more wind barbs, so 31 knots, 32 knots, 32 knots, 31 knots, 32 knots, 35 knots, 34, 34, 30, okay. So as of right now, we have 47 miles per hour maximum sustained winds. I don't know how much I want to believe that. I'm at 45, wait. And we're going to bump it up to 45. At least 43, because we're kind of getting mixed feelings about this. So we're basically at 50 miles an hour. I'll just go 45 knots, so that's 51 miles per hour. And that's near the storm, by the way. When they flew in here, this is why I'm a little bit concerned. Wait, where's the wind barb? It didn't drop one here? I kind of want this plane to turn. I just want to see. Because this is probably gargled data. I don't know, actually. Wait, 46. 50 knots. We actually found, but the thing is, yeah, we found 50 knots, but is this part of the hurricane? Well, you know, I guess it is. That's 57 miles per hour. $52. Okay, we're bumping this up to 52. So we're near so we're basically at 60 miles an hour. That's the strongest we've found yet. But yeah. So we found basically 60-mile-an-hour winds. So wind speed has not increased yet. I think the hurricane. Sorry, what? I think the hurricane hunters are gonna make something like that. Make like a doop, boop, some boop, something like that. They're probably gonna make the little bow tie. They might go a bit more farther out to get. Hurricane kind of lasts here, so it's kind of like. To me, the hurricane probably like lasts here. Hope it does turn. We want it to turn. Unless the National Hurricane Center says, all right, that's enough. 60-mile-an-hour it is. And the 60-mile-an-hour by rounding, by the way, guys. 60-mile-an-hour it's by rounding. For an approximate. Yeah, I'm good on that one, buddy. So we basically found 60 knots. That's by rounding, but really, technically, we really did find 59 knots. So as of right now, it looks maybe a knot weaker, at least 1 miles per hour weaker. But if we round, it's the same 60 knots. So I think National Hurricane Center is more than likely going to round it to 60 miles an hour, which it probably is right now. I'm ready to see what this has to show. If it's going to show anything. Because the 11 a.m. update is going to be a big update. It is the big update. But I'm just wondering. Personally, I think they should measure this data like right over here. This looks like it has some wind speed in it. And that's real. This is really all I need to talk about right now. I basically talked about I talked about literally everything in the earlier part of a new subscriber. Thank you, new subscriber. Who's that? Mary Reporter. Thank you, Mary. If anybody's commenting, I cannot see because YouTube, the good people at YouTube, are not nice to me. They do not want me to see chat. I can try to fix it, but I mean, I'm already streaming, so 13 minutes ago. So we are still watching this. This should turn. Also, for your information, I'm not just some random kid. I actually am in a meteorology class. I'm not an official meteorologist, but I do have some experience with this. I've been to Florida, not really. I lived in Florida for a little while. But I'm in Ohio, so I do have, and I've always loved weather, so I do have some experience in weather and radar. Like, I bought, like, RadarScope, which is another it's basically like, RadarScope is basically a simple version of RadarOmega, which is what I'm using right now, since I was, like, 7. So, like, I do have a lot of experience. I'm not degreed, but I am in school. Like, I do have, like, some special class that my high school teacher got me, so that's pretty cool. So technically, yes, I am in a meteorology class. So to you, at least, I am somewhat reliable. I mean, you can count on me, be reliable. So I'm not one of those TikTokers that are gonna say, "Oh, this is a category 7." That doesn't even exist. Does not even exist. I do not think it will ever exist. Yeah, so around the eye, which I think, yeah, we found the eye somewhere over here. We do have, yeah, 997. Yeah, 997 pressure, so it did drop by 2. We did originally found it at, that's just not. We originally found it at 999. And now we found it at 997. So the pressure did drop. And in this case scenario, with high pressures and low pressures, if you do not know, which is fine, you don't have to know. But high pressures, they're a friend. Well, not when they steer hurricanes towards it. The only thing that high pressures are mean about is when they steer hurricanes towards you, which is what this high pressure is doing actually right now. High pressures are our friend. They keep the bad weather away. They're higher in pressure. When we have a low pressure system, the pressure is lower. They are not our friend. They create fronts. They create warm fronts. They create cold fronts. They create boundaries that can make weather happen. They can make your rain happen. They can make storms happen. They make hurricanes happen. The more pressure drops, the more it increases. The more it rises, the more it decreases. So we are seeing. So when we hear Beryl is dropping in pressure, some people might think, "Oh, that's good. She's dropping." They can confuse that for decreasing, which, yeah, I can see that. If I did not know meteorology, I would think that a decrease in pressure means weakening. But it actually does mean that the hurricane is, tropical storm. The tropical storm is strengthening a little bit. I keep calling it a hurricane because it literally was a hurricane. Well, it was a hurricane for so long that it kind of got out of my mind, and she's about to be a hurricane again, so. If you have any questions, I can answer them. I can try to answer them. Of course, if I look at my phone at the right time. Also, this is technically a thing. Aletta, I mean, she's doing nothing. She's just chilling, about to die, you know? Life. You know? She's just chilling before her death. I mean, she did have her glory. She was a tropical storm for like 2 seconds, but not really 2 seconds, maybe like a day or two, but, you know. Really, all of the tropical storms this year were brief, except for, really. Including Beryl, like, all the tropical storms this year were brief. Like, Beryl was very brief because she rapidly intensed. What else? There was Alberto. I think Alberto and Beryl were close. Alberto was brief. That made landfall in Mexico. And then Chris was the briefest one. I think Beryl was somewhere over here when Chris was like over here and became a tropical storm that like made landfall. I think, yeah, Chris was the most brief, and then there was, how do I pronounce her name? Aletta. She was also very brief. She was, once again, like a day or two. So, we've not really had a long-term tropical storm. And in some of the cases, which is good, that means it didn't survive that long, but in, like, cases of Beryl, it's not good. We wish it was a tropical storm then, and it became a Category 5. Okay, this plane is just going to continue to go. Once again, if you're just joining, hurricane hunters are in the tropical storm. We did find a pressure drop, which means she did strengthen by 2 millibars. As of right now, hurricane hunters have found at least 60-mile-per-hour winds. So her winds are the same. But technically, in pressure, she has strengthened by a little bit. Another thing to note is that this convective burst over here is weakening a bit. It's not like purple. It's not like a dark shade of purple anymore. And that's normal because, once again, shear is going to be affecting this thing still. I mean, if you look at the loop, actually, it did grow bigger a bit. Here, like right here. If you look right here, look right here in this pink circle. Look what shear. Look at what this is. Look what shear. This is basically what hurts hurricanes does to this part. It destroys it. It eats it up. So, Tropical Storm Beryl is just in a battle right now. She's in a war zone right now. She's in a war zone that she cannot win. As of right now, she cannot win. She's probably not going to win until at least she gets about over here. She may start to win. I don't know what else to show. Let's see if there's a new windy outlook, or not windy outlook, but so once again, if you're just joining, we do expect landfall. As of current models right now, we expect landfall. Ooh, what's that say? About at like 1 p.m. Maybe from the time frames about like 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. where we can potentially see, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is where we can potentially see landfall for this hurricane. It's going to be a hurricane. It can be a hurricane. It's probably going to be a hurricane. But these, if I take a screenshot and hopefully do not end stream. There we go. I don't really know topography, but this kind of, these little islands, not islands, but these little like lands over here on the coast of Texas, mainly over here. This area might get a lot of storm surge throughout the day. They might get it early before landfall. They might. They're definitely going to get it when it makes land. No two ways about it. But even when the hurricane does progress on land, they still can get some storm surge, or at least some waves. So there's a good chance that the storm surge for these little guys over here, the outer coast land areas, I guess you can call them. These land areas, I don't know what to call them, but these areas are at risk for a life-threatening storm surge. Life-threatening. Like, these waves can top, even if there is any houses over here, like beach houses, they can be toppled over. They can be, like, blown away by water. Could be by wind, but water is the main threat for this little strip. I'll call it a strip. Oh, you know what I can talk about? Let's take a break from Beryl. Because, okay. I think the Hurricane Hunters listen to me. Because I think it's trying to track this right here. Let me get into, pinker color. I think it's going to go into this area. I would not doubt them because I do think the highest winds could be in this area because I am seeing a little bit of some faster motion going on. At the same time, this area could get also affected by shear. If you're just tuning in, landfall is expected at least from. It can be from Brownsville. It can be, but it's just not. It's just not showing up. Even though the models have been a bit wacky for this hurricane, tropical storm, whatever you want to call it. They've been a bit wacky, but still, I do expect landfall to be at least at Corpus Christi to Houston. So it could either be at Galveston or at Corpus Christi, but really anything between Corpus Christi and Houston is where I'm expecting, and a lot of meteorologists are expecting landfall. I'm going over. Oh man, one person left. Damn it! Wow, that dropped. The one person watching this, share this. We have to do this. Come on, we have to work as a team. Team effort. Team effort. There we go. Yeah, we're sharing the live stream. Let's go, guys. But anyways, landfall between Corpus Christi and Houston. That's where we're thinking. But anywhere in this cone of uncertainty, so anywhere from Brownsville to Galveston, we could see landfall. But really, I'm expecting at least from Corpus Christi to Galveston landfall. That's my personal bet. My personal opinion is from Corpus Christi to Galveston, we could see Category 1 high-end landfall. We are expecting a high-end Category 1 landfall. Personally, me, with my experience, I think it's going to be a low-end Category 2. That's with my experience, my personal opinion. I could be wrong. A lot of models say I can be wrong, but once again, those models never thought it was going to be a Category 4. So, these models cannot really be reliable. They can be reliable, but the models, they're not really. The intensity models are off and on with this hurricane, this tropical storm. So, I'm expecting a Category 2. But we can still see, we're more than likely going to see a Category 1 landfall. A high-end Category 1 with 90 miles per hour and like 3 people just left. Okay, you know, I don't. At least I get the word out. At least I get the word out. That's all. That's all I care about. Did I take a screenshot of? No, I did not. Okay. Okay, there's like one viewer here. I think that's me. I'm gonna try to get alerts on. I'm gonna try. Oh, I have 6 viewers. Okay, I have 6 viewers. Never mind. Let's talk about this hurricane. So once again, from Galveston to Corpus Christi, we could see this make landfall. Right now, hurricane hunters are as of right now, this hurricane has intensified by a micro. It has dropped pressure by 2 millibars. It's at 997 millibars, so it has increased. Wind speeds have not increased. We're still at 6-mile-an-hour wind speeds. So wind speed, at least wind speed wise, this is not increased. That may change as the plane goes by. The hurricane, sorry, the tropical storm. Wow, I cannot speak. I could talk about, if you guys want me to talk about severe weather today, you can just put it in chat. I'm watching chat right now. If you do want me to talk about severe weather, just put it in chat. I'll read it. Make sure it's English, though. Please, English. I cannot read Spanish. Because I can. If you guys want me to, I will talk about severe weather. I will. If you want me, I'll talk about, like, severe weather. But I'm going to take a gander at this little thing. I want to wind speeds. Just want to get a central idea where the low pressure is. This app still displaces the low pressure system. It's very okay, the low pressure right now was recorded. Once again, low pressure was recorded literally on the track line. Low pressure was recorded right here on the track line. So, that's that. On the screen right now is where low pressure is. So what you are seeing right now is where currently low pressure is. This is where the center of the tropical storm is right as I'm speaking. This is where the eye is. There's not a definitive eye, of course. But where it is right now, this is where it is right now, at least the center of it. It is increasing a little bit. It is still increasing, but by a little bit, by a micro. Not by wind speed, only by pressure, only by barometric pressure. Once again, if you want me to cover severe weather, please put that in chat. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Here, I'll type in chat. Any questions? That message is pinned. We'll be right back because I think I need water because my mouth is getting dry from talking all this long. Okay. Water did not help, but it is what it is. So, low pressure, at least now low pressure is probably somewhere over here. And more than likely have moved the low pressure system. So everybody, to my one viewer, two viewers, thank you. Low pressure has moved, and it's still increasing by a micro. Once again, my personal... Whoa, I'm losing my voice, everybody. But my personal track for this is going to be something like this. Tropical storms and hurricanes, they both wobble. But right where it cuts, I do have this cutting north. When it cuts, I do have this slowing down and going somewhere over here. That's my personal track line. Because hurricanes wobble. Hurricanes wobble. I do have this moving. Possibly, once again, possibly near that Houston area. No, I'm sorry, that was a lie. Maybe near Bay City or Port Lavaca. How tropical systems work. The more they have to turn, the slower the system will get. Let me repeat that. So, the more these systems have to turn, the more. So with beryl, the high pressure's over here. The more this high pressure turns this system, the more strength the high pressure will have, the more beryl will turn. The more she turns, the more slower she will get. The more she turns, the more slow she will get. And when she gets slow, the more time she's over that warm water, and especially over here, the lesser sheared water. The more slower and the more eastern she gets, the more chances of her intensifying increase. This is why I do think she will move a bit more east. This is why I think she'll become a Cat 2, a low-end Cat 2. Right over here, if she makes landfall right over here. Landfall can be expected right here near Brownsville. It can be in Corpus Christi. It can be in Galveston. It can be anywhere in the warning area. It can be anywhere in the cone. The entire Texas coastline that's in the cone has a hurricane watch. Okay? Has a hurricane watch. So please take this seriously, because the more this system turns, the more slower it gets and the more warm Gulf moisture it will get, the more it will increase. So right now, it might not look that bad. But if she does go more east, if she slows down more, it's going to be bad. And you might regret it. You might regret not leaving. So take the warning seriously. Also, if you live in the outer strip, like this area, not mainland Texas, not like actual on land Texas, not like actual Texas, the little strips on the coast, you're in danger of life-threatening storm surge. Life-threatening storm surge is a real possibility. The National Hurricane Center has said it. This is not coming from me. This is not coming from myself. Life-threatening storm surge on the coastlines of Texas are a real possibility. Not just hurricane force winds, not just a landfall of a hurricane, but also life-threatening storm surge. It's possible. So please, take the watches seriously. Take the storm. If you're under a storm surge watch, if you're on the immediate coastline, please, the hurricane, not from me, the Hurricane Center has listed life-threatening storm surge. That's not my words. I probably would have said it anyway. It's right. This is life-threatening. It can be life-threatening storm surge. I know the predictions look weak right now. Weak right now, but that can change if it moves east. That can change in an instant. The more it slows down, that can change in an instant. The intensity of this hurricane is driven by a no-sheared environment, which we do expect there to be little to no shear a little bit before landfall. We do expect it to move a bit more easterly. That can help it intensify. When it slows down, that's the kicker. If it slows down, that is the kicker. Like, literally, that can, like, intensify a hurricane. So, for example, Hurricane Harvey. Now, for the record, this is not going to be like Hurricane Harvey, but if you saw Hurricane Harvey, it slowed down and intensified rapidly because it slowed down and it stayed in the water. This hurricane is slowing down. It's slowing down. I can prove it to you. Over here in the Caribbean, it was at like what? It was at like 22 miles an hour moving. It was a fast-moving hurricane. It's a tropical storm, but it's moving at 12 miles an hour now. It has significantly like slowed down. That can make it increase faster. That can make it strengthen. Okay? Life-threatening storm surge is still a thing. Not coming from me. Coming from the National Hurricane Center. Life-threatening storm surge is a real possibility. If you have a home on the immediate coastline of Texas, there's a chance that not just winds, water that will recede and then immediately force itself back onto the land could wipe away a home. It can wipe away a condo. All right? This hurricane, all it needs to do is go a bit more. All it needs to do is maybe slow down a bit when it goes more east. The more east it goes, the more it will slow down. So if it goes east, the more it will have a better chance of intensification. As of right now, wind speed-wise, she's not intensifying. But as of right now, her pressure is dropping. How do I know this? How can I trust you? Well, this is coming from the hurricane hunters. The hurricane hunters send their information to the Hurricane Center. We have seen a drop in pressure, 997. It was 999 before. It has dropped in pressure. It has intensified. We saw over here around 52, 53 knots. We put it into a converter. That's 59 mile per hour winds. Basically rounded up to it's 60 mile an hour. It has not moved. Well, it has moved but it has not increased in wind speed. But it has increased in pressure. Okay, my thoughts right now, I think the hurricane hunters are going back to this area. Because this area is where they recorded the strongest winds. So I think they might want to drop more things in that area. Oh my god, the more east, the more it's a beast. The more east, the more beast. That's the moral. This is the moral of the This is the moral of the tropical storm. Right now, I can tell you the moral of the tropical storm right now is the more east, the more beast. The more east, the more beast. The more east, the more. So if you know anybody on the immediate coastline or in southern Texas, near Corpus Christi, near Houston, near Bay City, near Galveston, the more east, the more beast. The more this thing moves east, the more it's a beast. I do not think it's gonna be a Category 3. I don't think so. If it goes along the cone of uncertainty, then maybe a low end Category 3. But I think at least it might be a Category 2. That's if it keeps moving east, because the more east, the more beast. I have to get some more water. I have to get like a jug of water because my throat. Thank you guys so much for joining, though. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate it. I really do. I really do appreciate it. So remember, the more east this thing moves, the more it will become a beast. The more this thing moves east. The more this thing moves east, the more it will say a beast. More east, more beast. I'm just waiting for it to move back into this area. The more east this goes, the more beast it will go. If you have any questions, please just ask away. I'll be happy to answer them. Right now, honestly, I'm just waiting for the hurricane hunters to get through this area. Because I think they're interested. Sorry, wrong thing. I think they're interested in, I think they're interested because the strongest winds they ever found was over here. And the plane is somewhere over here now. So I think they're going back to that area just to find out some things. Low pressure is, well, probably right over here. Low pressure. Remember, it's a slow-moving hurricane. Sorry, tropical storm now. It's not going to be a fast-moving one now. It's going to be a slow-moving one now. So the more east this goes, the more it will be a beast. So if you know any family really in this area that I shaded, if you know any family in this area that I circled, I'll make it bigger. I'll make the area bigger. If you know any family really in this area, I would screenshot this and send it to them. This can make landfall anywhere in the pink. Okay. So the more east so here's the track line, right? Let's say it goes right here towards Houston. It's a possibility. Nothing's stopping it really. The only thing that can make that not happen is the high pressure. And since this thing has always been turning right, I'd say it's a pretty strong chance. I'd say not a pretty strong. I'd say it's a good amount of chance that this could go to this area. I'd say it's a bit more of a higher chance if it goes between Corpus Christi and Houston. Like, I have a real confidence level right here. This area that I just shaded is my real confidence level in a landfall. So I'm really confident about it. And I'm losing my voice. That's the thing. But, anyways, screenshot this to anybody who lives in this area. Say, hey, you may want to watch this thing. You may want to watch this thing. And if you're in the hurricane watch, maybe make your hurricane action plan. It's that time of the year, sadly, folks. And please make sure to say the more east, the more beast. The more this thing goes east, the more it will become a beast. It sounds cringy, but it's real. Real. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up a little bit longer. I'm gonna get some water. And I'm gonna get a bottle of water. I'm gonna put this thing up. I'm gonna say, here, let me draw it on my Apple Pen. 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get some water. I'm gonna be right back. Remember, the more east, the more it's a beast, right? So I'll be right back. 1 second. Oh god. Alright, everybody, I am back. Sorry, I had to regenerate my voice. The immediate water wasn't really working. Had to get a few more fluids like Liquid IV. Not sponsored, but Liquid IV is great. But had to regenerate my voice a little bit because the water was just not working. Anyways, Where are the... Okay, the hurricane hunters are going up. So, I'm actually curious. Everybody, so this is weird. The more the hurricane hunters go near the eye, the more the wind is increasing. So, that's just one little thing I will say right now. We're gonna monitor this though, as it goes. Remember, guys, to share this live stream. Okay, we're still watching the hurricane hunters. I think they're gonna go back in the eye. So I think we're about to get another eye. A pressure. They probably want to see how much the pressure has dropped. It's my personal opinion. Maybe they're not. Maybe they may want to like punch into this little core over here again, or they're going back home, but. Or they may want to make like a full triangle circle, which I think they should. I think they should cover this sector of the hurricane. They have not covered this and this sector of the hurricane. So... That's what I'm thinking. That is what I'm thinking. So right now, folks, we have 30 minutes. 30 to 20 minutes till the 11 p.m. update. So the 11 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center will drop. After that, I'll review it. I'll go over the forecast again. Then I would have to end the live stream. I would probably be back before landfall, maybe. I don't know, but maybe. I might be back either for landfall, which looks a bit more certain. But I may be back when it officially becomes a hurricane, and we'll have to monitor rapid intensification maybe. So that's really my plan. We're just gonna wait for the 11 p.m. update. So 11 a.m. update. Sorry, I'm tired. Also, on this side, there is still wind shear taking this storm. This storm has been in a battle with wind shear, and it's really trying. It's getting big. This storm is really trying to get itself. It's increasing, and we're probably going to see a bit of a decrease. It's going to fluctuate a bit. But there will be a point in time. The point in time will probably be somewhere around here. So the eye of the hurricane is right over here, where that pink dot is. Personally, I think it will start increasing right here. So it'll fluctuate a little bit, but then it may start to increase maybe like right over here. But eventually, we'll probably see probably the fluctuation more than likely stop, and we'll probably see more of an intensification. So, okay, I think they are going back to the eye of the hurricane. Or they're going back home to Louisiana. Or they're measuring more data elsewhere. All are possible. Okay. Oh. Thank you who liked the video. Or stream, really. Thank you. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, thank you for the likes, everybody. Crazy. I never thought I'd get this many likes. I thought maybe like 1 or 2. But thank you. Really. It helps me. And it helps me get the word out. So yeah, we're just waiting for the 11 p.m. update. Once again, if you're new here, maybe leave a like if you want to. If you like what you see, I would like, but you do not have to like. You do not have to subscribe. A lot of people say like make sure to like and subscribe, but I do not say that. It'd be helpful, and I would thank you for that. But you do not have to like and subscribe. Also, once again, I think this will go somewhere like that. The central of the hurricane. The tropical, it's a tropical storm right now, but it's gonna be a hurricane later. It may be a hurricane later. If this thing goes over here to Brownsville, it's probably still gonna be a low end Cat 1 or maybe a very high end tropical storm. That looks a bit more organized than usual. Yeah, Arkansas. Oh my God, Arkansas is fully submerged in the outlook. So Arkansas right now is fully predicted. Arkansas is like fully in the uncertainty cone. Anybody who lives in Arkansas, you may see this tropical depressions, but a tropical depression. 1 second. Okay, so I'm gonna say this probably once or twice. This is gonna be the once. I'm gonna wait till there's more people here because I guess it's kind of some cool information and a good way to think about what tropical depressions really are. But anyways, maybe you want to clip this another bit. Tropical depressions. Tropical depressions, they can have some impacts. I'll be honest with you, not a lot. So tropical depressions at their maximum can be 30 miles per hour sustained and 40 gust. So I want you to imagine like if you were in a car, it's going down like a runway on an airport, like one of the runways, and if the car is going exactly 30 miles an hour, and if you stick your hand out, and you will feel that 30 mile an hour sustained winds. That's what tropical depressions can bring at their maximum. Their gusts can be 40 miles per hour. Thing is, for this area, I know that everybody in this area has experienced a severe thunderstorm warning. At least for the gusts, a tropical depression's gusts are less stronger than a severe thunderstorm warning. So if you've been in a severe thunderstorm warning, expect the gusts to be less than that. Now, as this goes throughout Arkansas, nearing Memphis, Tennessee, the maximum sustained winds will be 25 miles per hour. So imagine the runway, you stick your hand out of it, but it's going 25 miles per hour now. And the gust 35, so. At least for the gusts, a severe thunderstorm is more worse than tropical depression gust-wise. So that may or may not be like a comforting way to look at it, so you can know that, oh, this might not be as bad. But tropical depressions are still tropical systems that can bring flooding. They can still bring not as much wind of an impact, like a severe thunderstorm wind impact, but they can still bring a lot of flooding. And I think this tropical depression will bring a lot of rain and probably a lot of tornadoes. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about tornadoes again. Because this is a real thing. We are going to go. Okay, where is this? We're going to go. Oh wait, I have it pulled up. Actually, I don't want to move that. I'll just do this. Tropical beryl. If you look at Tropical Storm Beryl right now, this is the simulated reflectivity. As of right now, we're going to talk about the potential for that tornado risk. Let me just do this. Let it load, the model load. So as it goes up, it looks like it will form an eye. Now the outer band should reach Texas. Really? Okay, this will not let me see the time, so that's amazing. But 33Z, that should be around Saturday. Wait, Saturday. Sorry, Sunday. I don't know what, it doesn't say what time. Well, there's a flood warning. Hold on, this is great. Okay, hold on. Let me just see this for a second. Hold on, let me cook. Sorry, nope, that's the wrong thing. Okay, there's a tropical warning. Okay, never mind. It's not going to show me the time. I'm just going to switch back to this. But anyways, I would think this might be Sunday morning, maybe. It's 1 something, either 1 or 11. It's something. But anyways, here, you know what? I'll just do this. I'll make it better. I'll make it work. So here we go. Around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It looks like this may have potentially a defined eye. And it looks like these outer bands will reach Texas once again by 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This will continue to be a factor. Also, we could see this tornado threat extend all the way to northern Mexico, northeastern Mexico. And that tornado threat will still exist in northeastern Mexico really where the hurricane watch, all the areas where the hurricane watch are at that area for 2 p.m. The rain bands will likely calm down. It looks like the eye will probably still fluctuate. And we may, by 5 p.m., we may still maybe have a potential for that tornado risk to exist still. Then around 11 p.m. Sunday, we actually may get a lot of rain and potentially that flooding threat. Now around 2 a.m. Monday, this area, we could potentially see maybe heavy rainfall, and by 5 a.m., it does show landfall. That's the HWRF. That is technically our most accurate model, but I don't think, as far as tracking, as far as intensity, that might be a bit more accurate. As far as tracking, I do not think that's accurate. I think that it'd definitely be intensity. I think that's good. Maybe it may be a bit more intense. But as far as tracking, it still would more than likely, because it shows landfall right there. But personally, it shows landfall here. But personally, I think landfall will be somewhere over here, which may leave for some time to develop. So that's why I say it may be a bit more developed when it makes landfall. But this flooding threat, it's going to be a slow mover. Then also throughout the day, we will have that tornado risk once again that may reach Louisiana. But yes, this flooding threat might be huge. There's going to be some flooding with this. And of course, there's going to be some storm surge. Right here, if I go back maybe a few frames. Right here. This is a perfect example. So, it's pulling in the winds that are wrapping around it. Right here is an outer band. This is going to be that severe weather risk. But you see this little dry pocket. That could be like, maybe that's like that, if you know tornadoes. If you know how tornadoes are forming, like the inflow and the outflow, imagine this for a hurricane. This is a strong inflow. So we're strong winds that might knock off precipitation. Look at this. The strong winds almost looks like a cold. It almost looks like a cold front. Like it looks like almost like a front or like a boundary. That's how strong the winds could be. So these are strong winds, possibly either sustained or gusting, going into this area. Predicted. So this hurricane, wherever it makes landfall, it could have potentially a pocket of intense winds flowing into that can create really what this life-threatening storm surge is about. Then obviously, once again, we'll have another round of an out-of-band severe weather threat, mainly for over here. But this is a clear indicator that this may intensify. It can intensify to not really catastrophic, but life-threatening storm surge. And that it just gets bigger, folks. Then this big pocket of air is just a signature that it's weakening. Then we'll more than likely have a tropical storm. It's still in the same areas. We can still have that severe weather threat exist. Once again, it's going to be an all-day hurricane, all-day severe weather threat. It might be by 7, 8 p.m., it might be a tropical storm by then, Monday. So around 8 a.m. Tuesday, severe weather threat will still exist. A major flooding threat will still exist. This is kind of weird. It might be a very 8 a.m. We could see at least maybe till up here this severe weather threat exists once again. This will enter Arkansas into Louisiana. Now remember, it shows this tropical depression, our tropical storm being right over here and kind of going right over there. The track line shows it kind of going like something like this. So we could see this Louisiana threat be a bit more south. And even the flooding threat. Over here by Tuesday at 11 p.m. and over here the flooding threat it probably will go also into northern, northeastern, northwestern Arkansas. Arkansas, you could potentially still see that. Mainly, it's going to be a severe weather event. Potentially, maybe a tornado or two within that. And this is around 11 p.m. Tuesday, Eastern Time. Really just becomes a pile of junk, and it's just it really will throughout Wednesday just dump so much rain, and definitely that flooding risk potentially for Missouri. Then after that, this thing, it's gonna continue to be it's gonna like disintegrate. So more than likely, it's still gonna be potentially. I would say, why does this keep doing this? I would say from here on out, potentially a widespread flooding threat. And then maybe in, Indiana, potentially northern Ohio, we could get that severe weather threat, and maybe a tornado or two cannot be ruled out. But this is just one model out of a lot. Okay, everybody, we are now expecting very soon an update from the National Hurricane Center. Okay, we're gonna go to X. We're gonna see what this Hurricane Center is all about. Here it is. So we did get it. So we are more than likely going to get this graphic soon. I think there was an update to the cone. Oh. Wait. Did this update? Wait. I think it may need an update. So this is what the National Hurricane Center has said. We have... Okay, here's the update. Here's the update of the cone. The cone has updated. So it has pushed a potential... So here's the good news. Corpus Christi. These areas are no longer expected to make landfall. So... But here's the thing. Houston. These areas could experience landfall. We're just waiting for the track line to update. Did it update? Yeah, okay. Okay, so right now like I said, right now, we currently have a tropical storm of 60 miles an hour, 70 mile an hour wind gusts, pressure of 997. It dropped. We expect it to be a hurricane a bit west of Metamoros. We expect it to make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. It is a bit weaker. It is a bit weaker. I will say it is a bit weaker. It does show it being a bit more weaker. Also, this does show the tropical depression that will continue to move. And now it shows the tropical depression in Missouri. That is okay. I think the cone moved on me again. The cone always moves. It's updating. There we go. So, if this decides to make so once again, Louisiana now is still not really. So we still are expecting this to be a tropical depression by Missouri still. So that's a thing. Okay, why is this doing this to me? 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Hey. Yeah. We do have tropical storm warnings now. We no longer have hurricane warnings. Thankfully, that it does look like it will not be a higher end. It looks like that no longer will be a higher end Category 1. It looks like it'll probably be a middle ground Category 1. Maybe a high end Category 1. You know, the line has moved a bit more east. I still expect this to be a bit more east. Maybe I think a lot more easternly. I think that's still gonna happen. I think it's gonna make another huge right turn. But it just needs to cook. It needs to cook. And hopefully it does not cook. Just it's really it, guys. So my official predictions right now, I am I'm still expecting this to be along a track line, but at some point, I expect this to make the slow down and make some kind of a right turn. I'm expecting it to continue on the track line for a little while. But I'm just expecting that right turn to happen. That's really all I got for you. But once again, we could potentially see a landfall maybe even east of Galveston. That's still a possibility. Next update is 5 p.m., I think. Yeah. So we have a while for the next update, so that is really it, guys. Once again, if this track line does verify, which I think I think it's gonna continue on the track line, but then I think right here it's probably gonna make a hard right turn and probably go back to the track line. So, but if this track line does verify, then we will more than likely see this tornado risk exist somewhere here. Maybe the tornado risk will more than likely exist somewhere here. Alright, guys. That is going to be it of this stream. Thank you guys for so much for watching, so much for the likes. That was a lot of likes, a lot of viewers. But remember, the more this cone does verify my saying, the more east, the more of a beast. Okay? The more east, the more beast. Okay. That'll be all from me, guys. See y'all in the next stream, which may be when this becomes a Category 1 somewhere.